Why your habits always die after 7 days. It was day 8, and I quit. Again. I had all the motivation in the world, a brand new journal, a perfect morning routine written out. But for some reason, every time I tried to start a new habit, I'd crush it for about a week and then crash. And if you've ever done the same, it's not because you're lazy or weak. There's actually a hidden pattern that kills most habits right after that first week. And once I saw it, everything changed. Let me take you back about 5 years. I'd just come back from a weekend hiking trip in the Rockies, which is usually my way of resetting when life gets chaotic. I was sitting in the front seat of my SUV, dirty boots off, sipping gas station coffee, journaling about how I was finally going to fix my routines. Again, I wrote down everything I wanted to change. Wake up at 5:30, cold showers, 10-minute meditation, no phone until 10 a.m., daily planning, gym, read 20 pages, you know the drill. And for the first 7 days, I crushed it. I felt like a machine, productive, clear-headed, energized. But day 8, I overslept, skipped the shower, scrolled Instagram in bed for 45 minutes, felt like trash the rest of the day, told myself I'd reset tomorrow, but I didn't. And this wasn't the first time. Same thing had happened with writing, with clean eating, with journaling. I'd always make it to day 5, 6, maybe 7. Then boom, old habits took over. And I started wondering, why is the 7-day mark the wall I always hit? Why do I collapse right when it feels like I'm finally starting to win? I got obsessed with figuring it out. Because here's the thing, I wasn't trying to do anything insane. I wasn't trying to meditate for an hour or run marathons. These were simple habits, things that should have been easy for a guy like me. Someone who runs businesses, hikes rugged trails, manages a team, keeps his life pretty dialed in most of the time. So I started journaling every day, not about what I was doing, but about what I was feeling on day 6, day 7, day 8. And I started seeing this pattern emerge. Day 1 to 3, you feel motivated. It's new, you're excited. Day 4 to 5, you start slipping a bit, but you push through. Day 6 to 7, real life starts crowding in, work gets busy, you sleep poorly, you miss a workout. Day 8, the habit dies because your system was never built to survive friction, and that's when it hit me. I was building my habits for perfect days, not real ones. The mornings where I woke up feeling inspired, had no distractions, perfect conditions. But the problem is, life isn't built on perfect days. It's built on messy, unpredictable, stressful ones. And that's where most habits fall apart. So I asked myself a new question. What would this habit look like if I built it for my worst days? So here's what I did differently. And honestly, it changed everything for me. I stopped building habits that relied on motivation. I stopped creating routines that only worked when life was perfect. Instead, I built a friction-proof system, something so small and stupidly simple, it could survive even my most chaotic mornings. Step 1, build for your worst case day. This was the game changer. I asked myself, if I only slept 4 hours, if my inbox was a mess, if I had a meeting in 10 minutes, what's the bare minimum version of this habit I could still do? If the habit was reading, that meant just 1 page. If it was working out, that meant 1 push-up. If it was writing, just opening the doc and typing a sentence. It felt like cheating. But the point wasn't performance. The point was consistency. Step 2, chain it to a trigger I already do. Every habit now started after something automatic. Coffee, that's the cue. Shower, that's the cue. Open my laptop, cue. I didn't need reminders, didn't need to think. The habit piggybacked on stuff I was already doing. And my brain started treating it as part of the package. Step 3, track it, but not for perfection. I started using a simple calendar with X's, but here's the rule. Even if I did the tiniest version of the habit, the 1-minute version, I got to mark an X. That kept the streak going, and after a while, I didn't want to break the chain. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Success with habits isn't about intensity, it's about identity. You don't need to do something big to become the kind of person who sticks to habits. You just need to show up even when it sucks. And once I had this system running, something wild happened. The habit stopped feeling like effort and started feeling like me. Now, I'll be real with you. I still mess this up a lot. There were days I did the one push-up and felt like a fraud. There were mornings I opened my journal, wrote 3 words, and shut it. And honestly, sometimes I wondered if this micro habit stuff was even working. But looking back, that's when it started to click. Small doesn't mean weak, it means sustainable. You're not building a habit for today. You're building it for the version of you who's tired, frustrated, behind on emails, and still shows up. Don't try to fix your whole life in a week. That was one of my biggest mistakes. I'd try to stack 7 new habits at once, and it always crashed. These days, 1 habit at a time, 2 maximum. Let them stick before you add more. Progress feels invisible until it doesn't. For the first 2 to 3 weeks, you won't see massive changes, but then you'll have a day where your new habit kicks in automatically and you'll think, wait, when did this get easy? That's the moment you realize it's working. So here's what I'll leave you with. If your habits always seem to die after 7 days, it's not because you failed. It's because the system you used was never designed to survive real life. And the good news? You don't need a new planner or more willpower. You just need a plan that works when everything else doesn't. Start small. Build for chaos, not perfection. And let consistency, not motivation, carry you forward. You'd be amazed what happens when you stop trying to be perfect and just focus on not quitting. Now, I'd love for you to try something. Pick one habit you've been struggling with. Just one. And ask yourself, what's the 1-minute version of this that I could do even on my worst day? Do that. Do it today. Then come back tomorrow and do it again. Let that be your start. If this hit home for you, drop a comment. Tell me what your one habit is. I read everyone, and I'm rooting for you. I'll see you in the next one.